There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name. Hey, yo, what's going on? Right now you're watching Casino is the name, and I was watching a video earlier about the economy, and economists saying that it's cheaper. It is now becoming, I guess, cheaper to rent than to buy. And I just could not sit by after watching this video. I didn't actually see where the economist said that. I wasn't checking for that. I was just watching this video, and in this video, some people were making some statements. And the problem with all of this is when you don't have context, right? You can't make statements without certain types of context. You know what I mean? All right, so I'm gonna play the clip and then we'll talk about it. All right, so here's the clip.
All the time, okay? Owning a house and buying a house and taking out a mortgage and taking on debt ain't all that it's cracked up to be. The Realtor Association of the world has done a great job of saying renting is throwing away money. Renting is throwing away money. What they will
And my
not
mom,
tell you,
by the way, my mom
exactly,
says that.
because that's what the American dream was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Buy a house, 2-car garage, picket fence, 2.2 kids. That's what the American dream is. The American dream today is economic freedom. Pick and choose wherever the hell you want to go. Keep it moving and stay flexible and keep your overhead low. So what people forget is that, all right, you know that if you're going to buy a place, first thing you're going to look at is the mortgage payment, right? So typically, in the last 6 months, it's gone from 3% to 6%. That's double. I'm not a mathematician, but I'm pretty sure 3 to 6
Not
is double.
good.
But the three things that people forget about when they go to buy a house, and for those of us that have bought a house, they get it now. Those of us that have not is what I call the big three expenses. That's your taxes, your maintenance, and your insurance. Those are three things you do not have to pay for if you're renting.
Exactly.
So everyone's like, well, it's cheaper to buy or it's the same price. It's like, yeah, go ahead and figure out what your maintenance is going to be, what your taxes are going to be, and what your insurance is going to cost. Oh, you just moved to Florida. You ever heard of a fucking hurricane, buddy? Yeah. You're going to need some hurricane insurance. Yeah. So there's a difference between an investment and a lifestyle choice.
Pay attention to this.
Buying a house isn't exactly the best investment. It might be the best lifestyle choice, but there is a difference. You can look at the math. If you put your money in the S&P 500 index fund over 10 years versus buying a house, the S&P is going to double what you're going to get for your house.
Got you. Yeah, there's also headache.
Okay. All right. That was a lot. He said a lot there. All right. So first, I want to just look at the fact that he just changed what the American dream is, right? He just said that dream of old is not what the dream of today is. To me, that's the first place that somebody see doing what we do, right? Let's say watching, if you're watching these videos and you're looking for advice, you're trying to get information, maybe somebody's a specialist. I don't actually know what this guy does or what his net worth is or anything like that. But, if he's on a platform, it's a platform you may respect or whatever, and he makes this statement and you can hear people saying, yeah, in the background. So they sound like they're agreeing with, I guess, his statements about, everything, right? So he just said the American dream is not what it was, okay? And I didn't know the American dream had an update to it. I had no idea. But if you listen to him, right, then it must have gotten an update. He might have been the person who just updated the quote unquote American dream. Did he change what you desire by what he said? Did you say, oh, is that what people are doing now? See, that's the problem with what we do, right? We have such an influence on your perspective. So what I do is I try to provide proof, right? Instead, I'll give you my personal opinion and how I'm looking at it, but I'll tell you why I'm looking at it that way. But I can give you actual proof as to what I'm saying and where my proof is coming from versus just a theoretical ideal or concept. You know, we throw around theories as well, but you know, actual proof that maybe we've been looking at this thing wrong, or maybe we've been looking at this thing right the whole time, but we need proof to actually validate anything that we see on these channels, right? But him saying this, right, changes the American dream. I never heard that before. I don't think it changed for me. I don't agree necessarily that what he's saying is either A, the American dream, and B, what people are trying to do. As far as I know, people are trying to take on as much debt as possible and don't really care about paying their debts. Everybody's like, yo, just give me more money. Just give me more money. I ain't worried about paying that. That's what I've been hearing. Now, I don't know what he's hearing. Maybe he's been listening to Dave Ramsey, but most of the people, the original people, like my grandparents and stuff, they didn't have any loans and things like that. They didn't have any outstanding loans when they passed and things like that. At least none that I know of. They owned their houses, they owned their land, they owned all their cars, that kind of thing. So this modern concept is I'm going to owe you. I'm going to owe you. I'm going to use credit cards. I'm going to use loans. I'm going to owe you, owe you, owe you. I'm going to run up as much credit as I can while I'm alive. That is what I'm seeing, right? And so if you can borrow your way into a house, then that's all I'm used to seeing. If you look at the credit, the debt ratio or the debt percentages, it's higher now than it has ever been in history. So I don't think that it's what he's saying, that I just want to be debt free. I just want to be free to move around and do this. I don't agree with that. But you know, then again, I don't know what numbers he's looking at. I'm only looking at credit and things like that, the raising of the credit limits and things like that. That's all I'm seeing. All right, so anyway, but beyond that though, he made a couple statements. So let me go back.
Figure out what your maintenance is going to be, what your taxes are going to be, and what your insurance is going to cost. Oh, you just moved to Florida. You ever heard of a fucking hurricane, buddy? Yeah. You're going to need some hurricane insurance. Yeah. So there's a difference between an investment and a lifestyle choice. Yeah. Buying a house isn't exactly the best investment. It might be the best lifestyle choice, but there is a difference.
You see that? That part right there is why I had to do this video. He just said there's a difference between an investment and a lifestyle choice. That buying a house is not a better investment than renting. And that it may be a better lifestyle choice. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. I mean, first of all, it's hard to even say if something is a better buy or better or worse until you can at least compare them, right? But if we were saying every time I pay my rent or my mortgage, either one, I get to save part of that because I'm paying down principal, so that part of that money comes back to me, or B, the money is just gone. The whole amount of it is gone. So if you're able to save a portion, right, and whether or not you're considered investing in your house or whatever, but you're saying one is an investment and one isn't. Okay, this is such a crazy. Like, I don't do videos like this, right? But just like listening to it, it's like this is such a crazy, like you're saying one is an investment, is not a, you're saying that buying a house is not a better investment. And that's why I said I'm just here to show the proof, okay? I'm not even gonna get into all of the other stuff, but when I was getting ready to buy this house that I'm in right now, that I'm shooting in right now, it's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. I'm in Atlanta. I'm in the Atlanta area. I paid $233 for it about 6 years ago. Because he also talks about the S&P 500, right? Now, the amount of money that it would have cost me at the time to move into the average 1-bedroom apartment here in Atlanta, Georgia, was $1,380 at the time. This is about 6 years ago. That was the number that I went off to decide what kind of house I was going to get, because I didn't want to pay more than what I was going to have to pay for a 1-bedroom apartment. And so The average in Atlanta was $13.80, and it was very difficult to even find anything. Plus, they had other fees. $13.80 was like average for rent, but then they added on these other fees. This fee for this, this fee for this, this fee for this, and it would have probably been around $14.50 or so, something like that. But just the rent would have been $13.80. Okay, the rent would have been $13.80. Now, it was going to be a 1 bedroom. All right, I got 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath. My mortgage is now, and only because taxes have gone up, because the value of the house has gone up. But now, currently, my mortgage is $13.63. So you can say $13.64 because it's like $13.63 and some change. So let's just say $13.64. Hell, we can say $1,400. Well, you know what? Let's just say it's $13.80. All right, because that's what the average 1 bedroom apartment was at the time. Right now, apartments have gone up, right? And I have been here, 6 years or so, and my mortgage, I owe still 200. Let me see if I have that saved. Let me see how much that is. I think I might have sent it to my brother. I owe $212,940 on my mortgage, right? And the value of this house is currently, now remember, I bought it in at 233. I owe, like, the value has gone up to 435,000 on this house. All right. So with the value going up to 435,000 and me buying in at 233, it's gone up over $202,000 in equity. On top of the fact that I owe 212. So it's at 435, I owe 212. Okay? Now, if I was in an apartment, paying the same amount of money as you're talking about the S&P 500, there's no money to put into the S&P 500. See, it's one thing if you're saying that apartment is vastly cheaper, but in my situation, it was definitely not, okay? And that was just for 1 bedroom. If I needed to get a 3 and 4 bedroom apartment, not only was I not going to get, it was going to be a lot more money as far as renting a 3 or 4 bedroom apartment, but also the space. I still would not have gotten 3,000 square feet in an apartment for anything less than 2,500 at that time. I don't think, even when I looked online trying to find an apartment that was 3,000 square feet, I couldn't even find an apartment for 3,000 square feet. You must be talking like some kind of penthouse, and it's a huge penthouse to be 3,000 square feet. So it wasn't even created equal. I have a yard, I have 2 garages, I got a parking, like the driveway that can hold another 4 cars on that. So I have space for 6 cars right here. If you have an apartment, unless you're parking outside, you're definitely not getting a garage for free. And if you are, I mean, it's probably not for free because you got to pay for rent. But if they did include it in the rent, but a space for 6 cars, two garages, well, yeah, I guess they have parking if you're just parking out in the general public or something like that. But to get this in an apartment, it would cost a lot more. Even if you wanted to move into a house, think about it. Who do you think is making the money? The person who is renting the apartment or the person who owns the apartment building? Naturally, the person who owns the apartment building. Let's say each door in that apartment costed the person who owned the apartment building $1,000 a month. Do you think they're going to rent it to you for $900? No, they're going to rent it to you for more than $1,000 a month. They're going to rent it to you for $1,400, $1,500, $1,600 a month. That's how real estate works. That's where the money is. That's where the profit is. That's the business of real estate, of being a landlord. You rent for more than what you owe. Now, in turn, right now, I can rent this house for $2,500 or more, $2,500, $2,600, $2,800 a month, right? That's over $1,000 more than what I pay on my mortgage. I can rent this house $1,300 more than what my mortgage is, easily. Easily. People can't wait for me to move out. Why? Because I got 4 bedrooms. It's really nice. It's 3,000 square feet. Got a living room, a family room, a beautiful kitchen. You know, it has dining room. You have all of this space. You got a yard for your kids to play. Easily $2,500 a month. People are paying that in some apartments here, right? Now, I'm not like right in the heart of the city, but you know, it's definitely not uncommon for somebody to be paying $1,800, $1,900 a month for a 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom. Still not enough space, still not equal. And if we're talking about rents and things like that, like, I'm just speaking to the facts, right? The facts are, given this information, it is misleading, okay? It's very misleading. If I went out and bought a house right now that was equal to the same space and square foot of an apartment, I would come out way ahead. My mortgage might be $900, $1,000 a month for, or $600 a month sometimes. I got a house in Macon, and my mortgage is $500. I bought it for 54,000. 300, and I got this. It's 20. It's like 1,900 square feet or 2,100 square feet. It's something like that. But that's still bigger. Nice 3 bedrooms, but it would still be bigger than the typical apartment. Still, right? And the mortgage is $500 and something. Now I got it years ago, and today, if you bought something in there, it might run you like 100 and something thousand, which is probably, I don't know, maybe $1,000 a month, $800 a month, but that neighborhood still rents higher than that. You know, maybe that's $900 a month, $1,000 a month, but that neighborhood you'll be paying $1,200, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 a month. And when you got ready to leave after so many years passed and the value has risen, if you were renting, you wouldn't be able to take any of that with you. But if you owned, you'd be able to take it with you. I mean, you'll be able to sell it and make a profit, or refinance and pull the money out, and you know, but you have that equity. I don't understand this, because they make it sound like you would be able to rent, and then the extra money you'd be able to put into the S&P 500. Let's say you was able to put, let's say you was owning, and I'm just going to, play devil's advocate here, all right? Let's say I decided that I was going to go rent, right? And let's just say rent ended up being $200 difference. Okay, so $200 difference. I wonder if I got a financial calculator on here. Because remember, my house is going up. I guess not. I don't have one on here. I was going to try and see. But let's say my house is going up currently. Well, let's say, forget that. Let's say you're able to put $200 a month up, right? $200 a month. Because there's a difference in you renting a smaller space compared to a bigger, this house. Let's say your rent was $1,100 a month and my mortgage is $1,300 a month. He's saying that the S&P 500 will double whatever whatever you would have been able to make in real estate. So he's saying that taking that $200 profit per month, which is $2,400 for the year, and it would double, right? So let's say it's over a period of time. Well, really, we're only going to look at, like, let's say 6 years. We're going to look at my situation. In 6 years, that money, $2,400 a month at at well, in 6 years. So let's I'm gonna give you 20,000. Of course, it's less than that. I'm gonna give you 20,000, right? Because let's say 2,400 a month. I mean, a year times 6 years is 14,000. So he's talking about doubling. So I'm gonna actually give you 30,000 times 2, right? Let's say that money, by some amazing happens, doubles. Okay, let's say that money doubles. That money would go from $14,400 to $28,800. Now, this house in 1 month, went up $22,000 in equity in 1 month. In 1 month. In 1 month. I owe less than what I started. In those same 6 years, this house has gone up $207,000, right? But, all right, hold on. It's going up $207,000. But remember, I also owe less, right? So in these 6 years, I need to add that difference. And it's 233 or 212. Okay, it's 21,000. So we're going to add another 21,000 to that. Okay. Oh, 12. Okay, so 178. What did I already do that? Okay. Okay, so 21,000. All right, so plus 178. That's a difference of 199. Oh, I did it the wrong way. No, that's right. That's a difference of 199,000. Well, 199,000 minus 28,800. Okay, so here we go. I had to make sure I was doing a lot of different numbers. All right, so it would have been, I have a difference of 199,000 here, right? So it ended up being about $170,000 difference once I'm subtracting the 78,000 or so. The 28,000. Let's say if I had put that money in a S&P 500 versus buying this house went up 207,000 in equity, plus the other 21,000 or so from the me paying down the mortgage, and then yeah. So I'm looking at about $170,000 difference. You know, like these numbers is like, and I'm being generous here. All right, you got to hope that the money doubles. So it's not necessarily a better investment. It's just not. It's not a better lifestyle either. It's not. I mean, no, that's the only thing. When he said lifestyle, I could say an apartment could be a better lifestyle. Could be a different lifestyle. Like if you want to go for a certain lifestyle, maybe you want to live in the city, want to be in a high rise, cool, I get it. You want to overlook the city, all right, that makes sense. Get in a condo, 7th floor, pay whatever you paying, cool, I can get it. You want to be in the city, just close in the city, and you want to have the pool already there and stuff like that. You want to be, more in the mix, cool, I get it. That's a different lifestyle. It's not a better investment. He's saying that real estate may not be a better investment, but it might be a better lifestyle. And both of them could be true. Like you could have a better lifestyle because you have more space, more quiet, things like that. But it's not what he's saying. He's saying it's a better investment. Like you can't, that's an absolute. In certain situations, I remember being in Tallahassee and buying a house in Tallahassee was very expensive. But renting in Tallahassee was very inexpensive. And so in some ways, yes, if you're paying $600 a month in rent, but if you try to go buy an average house and you're going to end up paying $1,500 a month, $1,400 a month in mortgage, then yeah, maybe it does make more sense in that way to rent or something like that. But it's just too much to like really just do. If we're saying all things are created equal, then that statement is just very misleading. Anyway, right now you're watching Casino Is the Name. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, and we are out. Hey, yo, what's going on? Right now you're watching Casino Is the Name, and if you wanted to know how I started my trucking business, I have an ebook called Big Shot, Hot Shot Volume 1, Own Your Trucking Authority. It's a great book, 5-star reviews. The link will be in the description below. Go get that. Yeah.
Beat me up, Scotty. Me and her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the street. When she first saw me, she said, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live, wanna rap.
trap.
Purchase your lease today. Purchase your lease today. Purchase your lease today.
You say you want to be successful. Well, what's stopping you? Can't nothing stop you from being successful except for you. You standing in your own way. I came from the bottom. I ain't know nothing but the grind. You can't tell me nothing about that. I called the Bus and Basin Street Projects in Tallahassee, Florida. You hear me? I used to think $1 million would last me my whole life. I'd have made that and spent that. $1 million ain't enough. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino Is the Name.